For me, I think the best way for you to solve this is to get to your country's embassy in that particular country where you are. Get to your own country's embassy and then let them know what's happening. They can give you, if you desire to travel out, they can give you a paper that can help you out. Hello guys, welcome. You're welcome to our YouTube channel. Today we're going to be talking about 5 ways which an overstay person, that is someone who has violated their visa, their visiting visa or tourist visa, the 5 ways that they can survive in any country. Now guys, my name is Pascal. Let's sit and listen to this. First thing first, disclaimer and as well an advice. I'm going to tell you this. Please try to get to normalize or legalize your visa in whichever country which you are. The reason for this video is not to encourage anybody to get into an overstay or to keep on being an overstay person or immigrant in any country that you are in. The reason for this video is to get you back on your feet, not to lose hope, so you can get back on your feet and get some money and legalize your stay in whichever country. Guys, I'm talking from Dubai and my name is Pascal Agu. You're welcome once again. Now let's delve into it. What is an overstay? An overstay is when you have overstayed, when you have passed the extent to which you are supposed to stay in a country. Let's say for instance you came into a country on a visiting or tourist visa of like 1 month, and then you are supposed to stay and leave the country at least on the 28th or 29th of that particular month. But no, you did not leave the country and you did not try to renew your stay in that country. Now when you get past 1 month, let's say you get past the 30 days, 31, and then the next month starts counting 1, 2, 3. You did not legalize your stay, did not pay for more days, get more days to stay into the country. That means you are on overstay. It is not your own country. You are in a foreign land. So when you don't get to legalize or normalize your stay in the country by way of getting more visa, either by resident visa and getting a job or by extending your tourist visa, if you don't get to do any of this, you have entered an overstay, and so there are fines, there are money that you need to pay for that, penalties. And these penalties, in the case of the United Arab Emirates, known as Dubai, it actually accumulates, it counts by the day. You understand guys? It counts. So that's what I mean by overstay. If you need more on this, I'm going to refer you to this video up here. Check this video and get to see more about overstay, because today what we have for this video is to tell you how an overstay person can actually get to survive, get to do 1 or 2 things for them to get money, to be able to get money so they can get legalized, so they can get to pay for their visas and then become normal and actually legal occupants or immigrants of the country in which they are in which case we're talking about Dubai. So guys, stay and let me read you through the 5 ways or the 5 things that you can be doing so you can make it on your own. And don't forget guys, aside from amnesty, which can forgive you your fines and then you get to legalize your visa, there is another way, which is get a job and then your fines get reduced. There are processes on that. Watch the previous video I actually posted and you will get to see that. I have to tell you, there are 2 different things that actually used to cause the issues of overstay. First thing first is the issue of people who get to lose their international passports. They get to lose the international passport and then they become afraid, or they get to lose the international passport to employers, former employers, which they actually run away from, whatever be the case. And then because of that, they can no longer normalize their stay or legalize their visa in which they're on. They are either maybe placed on abscond or their visa expired, and that's just it. So that's one thing that can make you become or enter an overstay. The second part is this. The second part is you taking up a job, or you trying to take up a job with your tourist visa, but when it gets to the time when your visa expires, maybe your employer rejected not to either put up a visa for you, or whichever the case, whatever happens, those are the 2 ways that someone might actually get to fall into becoming an overstay person or immigrant in a particular country. All that said, I wanted to tell you a brief story about a friend of mine. I have a friend who actually came into the country. How did he come? He was able to gather money, pay for his visa to come to this place, He paid quite a lot of money. And the person he was paying it to, he thought the person was actually about helping him. My dear, when he got to this place, he realized he has been a kind of, the person actually overcharged him for the visa that he gave to him. Okay, when he was not able to pay up for the visa or stuff, the amount of money he was actually charged, his passport, his international passport was actually taken. It was seized by the individual, by the guy who actually claimed to be helping him. He was paying him money, by the way. So I have that friend, and he's been having these issues. But God's grace, we are looking at solving that. For me, I think the best way for you to solve this is to get to your country's embassy in that particular country where you are. Get to your own country's embassy, and then let them know what's happening. They can give you, if you desire to travel out, they can give you a paper that can help you out to move. With a paper, you can get to book a flight and then travel home. There is also an option of them getting to see a way they can help you out to get a new passport. The first business that out of the 5 I said I was going to mention, the first business I'm encouraging anyone who's on overstay, you can do. The reason for this, for these jobs, there is a pattern for these jobs. The pattern is that most of them are something you can just start and do on your own. You don't need an employment. You don't need someone to employ you for this. Although some of them actually need someone to employ, but it is not a prerequisite. First of all, most of these jobs, if not all, are actually jobs that you can get paid instantly when you finish them or on a daily basis. You understand? It is very important that you get such a job. The reason being that if you get to work for someone who you have to wait for maybe like 1 week, or by the end of the month to get to pay you, they might actually grow some kind of attitude at the end of the month, and you might end up not getting paid. So guys, the reasons I brought up this particular type of businesses is this, so that you can get your money immediately you finish your work, and then you get paid, so you can go and save up and get to legalize your stay in the country. So the first business is this. It's both for the guys and for the ladies. The business of getting to maybe fry meat. Yes guys, you heard me right. Fry meat. Get to buy meat in the mall or whichever place, supermarket. Fry the meat, get to garnish it, get to put pepper and stuff like that, garnish it, and then move around. A lady can do this, a guy can do this. I believe you must have seen people doing such things. If it is not meat, get to learn how to bake. Maybe the one we call popularly known as chin chin. That is flour. The one you can make through flour. Chips. Get to fry such things. Get some transparent kind of container. Carry it around to people. Start it first. Sometimes this kind of things can actually give you the mind to start up a business that you don't even know how far you can go with it. Yes, start with the people around you. Target the church you're going to. Try to develop a customer base in which every day you kind of go there so they get to buy. Put a record. Write it down. These are the places I always go. I must go to this place, from this place to this place. Make it a daily thing. And then everybody will get used to it and get used to you. In time to come, believe you me, you might not even need a job to survive. You might not need a job to survive. If you're serious in that, you can legalize yourself with that, and then you can start up a business with it. Yes, guys, you can start up a business. You can get to start and then get to employ other people who can actually market what you do. Once what you're doing is good. If you don't know, learn how to make it. If you don't know where to, you can learn it online. You can check YouTube, guys, for this. How to bake or how to fry some chin-chins, how to fry the meats, what to use to garnish it and all that. So that's one business you can do, guys. The next business out of the 5 that you can do as an overstay person so you can get to legalize yourself is delivery boy or delivery girl. Yeah, can be a delivery person for maybe a restaurant that is still growing. You can start up with that. Find a way you can get to deliver for them. Now, it is not advisable for you to stay illegal. While you're doing that, you should know your focus is to get legalized. Save up the money you need to save and then make a move immediately. There is one thing, guys, there is one thing I need to point out again. When you are able to get an offer letter, if you're able to get an offer letter from a company, yes, once that business, let's say for instance, you're a delivery boy for a restaurant which is registered. The restaurant is registered and they're making their business. When they are ready, they can make a letterheaded letter, offer letter for you. Make some agreement, write it down, the conditions for your employment. You're okay with it, you read, you sign. They can easily use it and apply for a visa for you, and then you get legalized. Yes, there will be a deduction of the fines that you are owing. There is a possibility for that. Yes, it is possible. The third on the list, the third business you can do as an overstay person just to get to legalize yourself is hairstyling. becoming a hairstylist. It can work for a boy and it can work for a girl. Yes, for the guys, you can learn how to cut hair. For the ladies, you can learn how to plait hair. Even ladies actually learn how to cut hair these days, and the guys, they actually learn how to plait hair these days. So whichever one it is, you can learn any of those. And then, since you know you cannot open a shop, your customer base should be from your neighbors, your community in that particular country, or in that particular area or vicinity where you reside, and beyond, of course. Your church members get to make an announcement. You don't necessarily need to, if you're going to somebody's house to go and cut their hair, or to go and kind of plait or make their hair, you don't need to show them your ID card. Definitely you don't. So there is no way they will get to know if you're legalized or not, but you're doing it as your hustle. You're doing this and then you get your money and then you get legalized. Guys, before I forget, these particular businesses that I'm listing, you can still use them. If you are legal in the country, you can still use them as a side hustle. Yes, on your free days, you feel you are energetic enough, you can still go and do them as a side hustle, and then it can work out for you. Maybe you might even get to resign from your normal job and then get to do that particular one, you know. Never can tell. Next job or set of jobs on my list, which actually accounts for the number 4 of the jobs you can do as an overstay person, so you can get to legalize yourself in the country where you are, is this. Get to volunteer yourself. You're living in a house, and you have neighbors or other tenants who live with you, and they have cars. They have dirty cars. Guys, you can form a way, get to look for a normal detergent, a good detergent for washing cars. Get to find a way you can volunteer yourself. You see this particular car is dirty. You know you are not working. What do? You can start by waking up early, going to go wash that particular car. You can wash it and just go. Try it again the next day or the next 2 days. You don't need to say anything to the owner of the car. Just make sure you don't destroy anything, but make sure the car is dirty before you get to wash. There is a reason why, guys. Once it's dirty and you get to wash them, but guys, if the owner tells you not to wash the car again, please don't get to wash it. So get to volunteer yourself, wash the cars in your vicinity or in your compound, whether they're outside or not. I know this sounds crazy. I mean, depending on where you are, of course. It depends on where you are, where you stay, or the vicinity where you stay. I mean, washing cars, some people will be like, are you crazy? How can you be doing that, for instance, here in Dubai? But then, when someone is actually desperate for something, you are desperate, you are in a situation whereby you need to think fast and you don't need anything that will push you back. The owner of the car sees you wash their car first, second time. For the first time, some people will actually dash you money or give you money in the first instance. The next thing, probably the person starts asking you a question, why are you doing this? So you can as well get that job which you want, that thing which you want, and then they get to help you out, maybe get you a job and then get to legalize your visa, get to reduce your fine, and then you become a legal immigrant. Aside from the car wash in your compound, you can volunteer for, maybe there are companies that get to do daily flyers, sharing flyers of their own companies, you know, kind of form of advertisement, and so they pay daily. You can also, for your neighbors, you can also get to your neighbors and ask them if you can do their laundry. You can ask them if you can wash their dishes. Try anything at all. If they have any work for you, if it is sweeping or cleaning the house, find a way to get something. Don't just sleep inside and say, oh, I'm an overstay, and then there's nothing I can do about it. Or you go and become irresponsible in the society. That is not in any way accepted. It is not in any way good. So you need to do something. For instance, you're doing this, you have the medium to actually get feeding. You have the medium to get to pay for your accommodation, and you have the medium to get to legalize your stay in the particular country where you reside. So guys, you see, you really need to do this. So you should do so. Get to volunteer, even if it is in your church, in anywhere where you are, get to volunteer. From volunteering, it normally gets you into something that you get paid for. Yes, guys. That is why people still volunteer till today. Volunteering doesn't mean it is zero payment. Most of the volunteers you see get to actually feed more than those who are actually working for real. One last thing I want to put in here, guys, is this. I want to tell you guys, for all of you who are on overstay, first and first, I want to tell you, do not be afraid of stepping out. Don't be afraid of going out to go and do something or to go and seek for a job. Do not be afraid. Go out. It is only when you go out or you apply for jobs online that you can get them. When you get them, you get an offer letter that you can use to apply for an employment visa. When the employment visa is granted to you, you use the employment visa now to get to apply for a reduction in the court, or a reduction of fines for your overstay. And so your reduction, your overstays, the fines will be reduced. You get to be able to pay it, and then you start working. Like that, you are legal. Another thing, guys, that I want to talk about is for you guys who are on overstay and you're afraid of going to the AMA center. You're afraid of going to the whichever office Tashail that is actually supposed to help in times of trouble, in times like that, which the condition which you are in. Guys, I have sent a couple or a number of persons to AMA center. They've gone there and they've been back. The only reason you are going to be taken and deported or taken and or arrested is if you have been on a watch list. A watch list in the sense that if you have done anything bad, if you have committed anything bad, that is when you get to be arrested. Now, another thing is this. You should endeavor not to be in the midst of anybody who is performing any sort of illegal activities. Yes, being in the form of maybe fraudsters, popularly known as Yahoo boys or anything, being in the midst of living in the midst of criminals, maybe people who steal or people who go out to go and do something bad, people who actually maybe get to do all sorts of criminal activities. If you're in their midst, definitely you're going to be picked up, guys. You're going to be picked up. If you're doing anything illegal, or in the midst of people who are doing anything illegal. That's it. Cleaning was the last one for the day. I believe you can do that.